was, Keiron. Thank you so much for joining me. It's all very exciting as we get underway for Code of Silence. What can audiences expect from this show?
Okay, it is a thriller, it is lots of drama, and it's a story. It got an element of lip reading, but also it's a bit like Alison. Okay, you'd probably explain it better than me.
It's your show.
It's a show.
Yeah, it's a very good show, I think. We meet a young, beautiful deaf woman that's trying to navigate her life. She's working numerous jobs, she's trying to prove herself, she's trying to make a living, and then she gets thrust into this opportunity that I think really excites her, and she goes with it, and she ignores every single red flag along the way, and she meets someone along that way that is a walking red flag, maybe, and
might that be you?
That may be me, or maybe it's herself. Maybe she's like, I'm the problem.
And Alison is going towards the red flags. Not good. the drama.
Tell me a little bit about Alison's character. What can people expect from her?
You don't. There's no like vulnerable, poor deaf girl. No, none of that. That is out of the window. That's not happening. She's nosy. She's very, very nosy. She is determined. She's quite stubborn. And if anyone tells her no, she doesn't take that for an answer. And she's quite mischievous in a way. Quite mischievous.
Is this why you were drawn to her as a role?
Of course. I think, but I can see from her point of view, she's been undermined for so long. So it was like an opportunity to show her potential. And I think a lot of deaf and disabled people experience that, where sometimes you're working for a company because you're making the company look good, but actually you can do so much more, and then the society expectation on you. And so Alison kind of represents that for me.
Yeah, and I guess for you, playing a part like this is showcasing deaf talent. And for people who may be wanting to be an actress like you, this could be a great example of something that you could do.
Yeah, I think we need more of that. It's not enough on TV, but not just on front of the camera, but behind the scenes, where we need more people. We need more disabled camera crew or stuff, because though it's just as important, because yes, I can perform as a deaf person, but if the camera not understanding deaf world, they would film slightly different. So if you have someone, they can pick up, oh, okay, what body language and stuff like that. So all of that is you need a team around you.
How involved were you, both on and off screen, with making sure the deaf community were well represented in this show?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that we have that crew in the scene, and also a mix of disabled people too. But we don't want just to hire them just because they're deaf, because that's totally wrong. So then you also need experience, but at the same time we have to understand that not everyone got an experience because of how society is based. So it's like a balance, and I think it worked out really well.
Yeah. Keiron, tell me a little bit about your character. I've only seen the first episode, but I'm very intrigued by him and what he's about to do.
I mean, we've done something right, if that's how you feel. I'm glad. I'm intrigued by Liam myself. I think Liam, similarly in some ways to Allison, feels like a little bit of an underdog, feels a bit cast out from the world. So he's kind of doing his best to survive, and he's doing it on his own. And I think he's reached a point in his life where he just wants more, and I think he's now willing more than ever to get it. And he's set on it, he's pretty set on it, and he has an idea, and he thinks he knows how he's going to do it. And then he meets this beautiful young lady who challenges everything and really brings a conscience to what he's doing. And I think, he really starts to see what he might actually want, which I think is maybe love, maybe acceptance. But I think
maybe want something from each other.
Yeah, definitely. And I think they kind of gatekeep each other, but at the same time, both of their stories. I think for me, it's quite remarkable how both their stories progress each other, and they are directly infused, but at the same time, they are unknown catalysts to each other. Like especially for Liam, obviously he's unaware Alison's true nature. And I think potentially in meeting Liam, Alison's true nature gets tested. What does she really want?
And this, it's not just your typical crime thriller, is it? It really delves into relationships and delves into the emotional aspects of people's personalities. You're both going through your own emotional struggles throughout this. Does that make it a bit different to what else is out there?
I think the show is based on communication and miscommunication, and relationships does play a big part of communication. You can't have a relationship without communication, so it's playing around with that, and then it also adding emotion. So I think this is more exciting because it's not like all the romantic you see on TV. It's a different experience.
I think just to sort of further your point as well, it's for me the story happens for the audience, sort of with the audience, but the characters' lives are also, there's something quite beautiful when we focus on what these people are going through and just sort of themselves. I think the most beautiful parts of Alison's growth are when we see her alone. We see how much this story is having an effect on her, and the audience gets to grow with her. And I think that's truly the beauty of this show. It's so much more than a crime thriller. It's so much more than a police procedural drama. It's so much more than, you know, a romantic drama. I think there's bits that are quite funny. That's because Rose is hilarious, and there's bits where, you know, you're truly challenged about. And I think the moral compass of it is it gives people an opinion of what would they do in that circumstance. What are we capable of under the right circumstance or the right need, the dire need. I think that's always good to, you know, it's good to educate audiences in like sense of the community and the deaf community, but it's also good to just really challenge them on everyday aspects of like, if my life was thrown into this crazy circumstance, what would I do? And
it's really clever as well, isn't it? The lip reading element of it is like nothing I've ever seen before on TV, and the way they portray that is really interesting and something you maybe don't think about. How do you prepare for a role like Allison?
Okay, so with lip reading, sometimes I'm not really thinking, do I lip read? So I thought, I test it myself. So I decided to test myself. When I went on a shoot, I tried to lip read other people's conversation, and there was a couple in front of me, and then I was trying to like lip read, but obviously I was like, and they was looking very uncomfortable, and I thought, okay, don't look a bit too obvious. So I tried to be subtle, and then I realised how much I did actually pick it up, because they were talking about, there was a couple, and they were kind of arguing what stop to get off and how many stops, because they were pointing at the sheep line, and they were showing Lancaster Square up the circle, and then they was, oh no, we've got that 3 stop. So, and I realised how much I got off the body language, and then I did it again, and then this woman, definitely from Esther, her accent was so obvious accent, and I thought, oh yeah, she's from Esther. And then she was kind of gossiping with her friend and talking about her friend's mum is a bit mad and a bit crazy, and I think she's on her way to have a dementia or something like that. And I thought, oh, okay. And then she kept looking at me because I was literally like this. I thought, oh. So it was quite interesting.
Play it cool.
Yeah.
As an undercover police person, you don't want to be the one who's being very obvious to you.
Yeah, exactly. So I was thinking, there's a scene, I think in episode 1, did we have that bar scene?
Yes.
Yeah, you did. So obviously, I can't just be at the bar and then be like, I can't do that. But when I concentrate, I have to do that. So it's kind of having a battle of trying to be like, don't be too obvious. Because I might have a newspaper with a hole looking, you know.
It's a good skill to have now, though, going forward.
So it was quite good to testing it out.
Yeah.
How to get away with it.
Did you give it a go too?
I find it hard to just listen. I'm kidding. No, I think massively. I think for me it was just in celebration of what Rose is doing. But I think another thing is, you know, it's really interesting for us to imagine, because it's not our lives. But like for Rose, it's every single day. You know, like to communicate. I obviously speak quite fast sometimes. When we first met, and my accent's quite thick, and it would be really interesting.
What?
Like, I mean, there's a moment when I ask Rose if she's hungry, and I go, "You hungry?" She's like, "You hungry? What?" Like the lip shape.
You hungry?
You hungry? And
you hungry?
For me, it's just like, oh, like wow, like oh, it sounds really interesting the way I say it and the shape of it. I think I don't know. For me, it was hungry.
Hungry.
You hungry now?
I'm hungry.
And,
I'm always hungry.
always hungry. I feel like I said this to someone, like one of my friends, when I was trying to explain the show. Is kind of like like everything in the drama is fictional, except that, and it's like it's really interesting. There's nothing about the show, and the deaf side of it, and the lip reading that is. We might have to take some liberties in some areas for entertainment purposes, but that's the real life struggle. It's not even a struggle. It's a real life commitment. It's a commitment that every single day the deaf community has to be aware and pay attention to truly get every bit of information they can. I think for that it's just more. I'll never know what that's like, but at the same time, now I have a bit of an understanding of it. I've got an appreciation for it, and it's kind of like it's pretty cool. You know what I mean? It's very cool.
They're cool. Deaf people are cool.
That sounds really, you're cool.
And you're the coolest of the cool.
Yeah, the coolest of the cool.
The last
I'm
time.
not that cool, honestly. If you see what I'm really like, no, I'm an absolute loser sometimes.
No. That's what makes you cool, though, because you can accept that you're a loser sometimes.
Exactly.
Thank you.
There we go.
What do you hope that audiences can take away from Code of Silence as this unique project that it is?
Take away how much more stories to be told.
Absolutely.
And then it'd be great if everyone watched it and demand more, and then we can make more programs like this.
Absolutely.
And then I get more job. That'd be great.
Yeah, I want to see Alison Brooks go on to be the next Inspector Gadget without the injury. I think yeah, that's what I want to see. Yeah, I want them to take that way. I don't know, just patience with people. How communication is much more than just what you say. It's the attention that you give each other. And yeah, the importance of new, fresh ideas and getting behind them, and new talent. Like Rose is a superstar.
And learning how to take time, listen, and open up and communicate. I think really what I want the audience to take away is just watching the drama and be entertained by it. Yeah. It's not education, no, none of that.
They'll definitely be entertained.
Yeah,
I cannot wait to see the rest of it.
But I feel like don't take everything. That is exactly what all deaf people experience. No, it's done with for deaf people.
Well, we wish you the very best of luck with it all. Thank you so much. It's so great to see how well you're doing, Rose.
I hope you enjoy the rest of it.
We will. Thanks.